And we're back.
Yep, we are live. We are
Now you
live
see me.
streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
You'll see me looking down, folks. I'm just trying to share from his Facebook to my Facebook so we can get people to join us. But Merry Christmas
Merry Christmas.
and Happy Holidays. Happy Hanukkah. I don't know
Happy
if Ramadan
Hanukkah.
and
Happy
Kwanzaa have started.
holidays.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do the Santa Claus ho ho ho. I, I had to do it in an audition this year, and I don't know.
still feeling, still feeling it.
Yeah, it's just kind of, it's going to be hard to top that one. I left everything in the in the audition room on that one.
No, I'm not
And I
seeing
think I
you on.
did one last year when we recorded.
Yeah, I'm not seeing you on Facebook streaming.
Okay. It says it says that we're live. Let me see if it's on
While you're doing that,
mic bump.
mic bump. Yesterday we did. We were all looking down, so I figured I'd just ramble while you do all the tech stuff, as usual.
So okay, it says I'm live, but I guess I have to toggle it on like before.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's gonna show up live on.
And if not, we'll just share it later. Folks, we'll do the lives and then we'll drop them as regular episodes. That helps makes it a little bit easier on us because we want to give you content every week, but it can be really challenging. you know, regular schedule of work, auditions, when we're blessed to get booked on that, some kind of role, and then go back into I do part of the editing, TJ does the other half. So that's one of our goals is to find some help, and we've got a few leads. More? Okay. I'm gonna jump ahead while you're doing that. I was gonna talk about some Christmas specials. Maybe people haven't heard about. I don't even know if we've talked about these.
Is somebody chatting?
Just me
It
and you.
sounded like you reacted to somebody.
No, no, no. That was just me. I looked at you to see if you were still finagling.
Yeah, I'm
Check this. Yeah, yeah,
trying
yeah.
to figure it out.
So we did this yesterday, and we were just practicing with the tech. And there's about 9 minutes of us doing this. Are we on? Are we on? So I was going to try to be a little more entertaining. And the first special I want to talk about is called "A Wish for Wings That Work." And if you've ever read, it's Opus the Penguin. I just forgot the other place. Something County. Blossom County. It was a comic strip, and I just blanked on the regular name. But Opus and Bill the cat, and Opus is a penguin who wants to fly. And Opus is voiced by Michael Bell, Duke from GI Joe, and he was also one of my teachers. I took some Zoom classes with him. But I loved Opus growing up in the comic strips. Yeah, it's Bloom County. Okay, just definitely went in my head. You just saw an old man moment there. Just kind of everything slowed down. And then the nanny had a Christmas special. Did you ever see that one?
No.
Oh, so it was episode, and it's all drawn like the opening titles, if you remember that. And so she visits the North Pole, comes back, and I think she wakes up kind of. Well, I won't say the ending. And the third one I was thinking of is A Maxine Christmas Carol. Hallmark had a card with an old lady named Maxine, and she was grumpy and acerbic and sarcastic. And then they made a Christmas special out of it. You can't find it. You got to look on like YouTube to get it. But it was those three are some of my favorites, and they're obscure.
Yeah. I got to look something up.
Okay, so I get more time to talk more.
You get more time.
I'm gonna.
Entertain the people.
I've got to come up with something to say. Let me take a sip. So, what else this Christmas? When we were growing up, there was Cabbage Patch. Later in the '90s, there was Tickle Me Elmo. I don't know what the hot toy this is this year. Probably shouldn't have brought it up if I didn't know. I think it would be a SAG contract for me. Dear Santa, put me in the movies. Oh, please, Santa, I want some more. Wait, that's Oliver. That's not Tiny Tim. God bless us, every studio.
All right. So, have you seen the Christmas Carol version with Guy Pearce?
I have not.
He played he played the bad guy. He played Killian in Iron Man 3.
Right.
So there was a version that he was in, and I think it was on FX. I have not been able to find it this year,
Yeah.
but that's a pretty good version. It's kind of long, but it's got the darker FX twist to it.
Yeah. And it was scary too, wasn't it? Really intense.
It 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 was intense, yeah. I mean, scary is relative. Maybe a
Oh
little
yeah.
more so than the other ones,
As opposed to Mickey's Christmas Carol, you know.
or Scrooged
Yeah. Oh yeah.
with
Love
Bill
that one.
Murray.
What's the last one? Oh, Bill Murray.
Yeah, Scrooged, Bill
Yes.
Murray.
I heard you say Scrooge. I spoke. I hope couldn't hear you when I heard instead of Murray. I heard Mary. I was like, Mary who? I like Patrick Stewart's audiobook of A Christmas Carol. Have you ever heard that?
Mm-mm.
He is such a phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
It, like he does Scrooge's snoring, and it's even that's beautiful. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I like listening to audiobooks and podcasts while I'm doing my day job of cleaning or
sure.
graveyard shift.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a nighttime job. Anyway, um, but it's one man on stage, and when he does the other voices, even of the ladies, it's not over the top. It's just right. So you're not even thinking that's Patrick Stewart doing a lady's voice. You're able to lose yourself in the story and just hear Scrooge's ex. I can't remember her name. Again, an old man moment. But
Yeah,
I was kind of toying with the idea for a Christmas Carol. Like, what if one of his descendants became a new Scrooge, but then had the ability to time travel and disrupt the original story? And then, but once they did, as all time travel stories do, now you have a paradox. Now you have the world's in ruins even more so. So they
yeah,
have to go back and recreate it. So they have to become the ghosts with special effects or whatever they have to do.
yeah.
And then I remembered a real Ghostbusters Christmas Carol. Did you ever see that?
No.
Okay, so it was the cartoon, and it was voiced
Uh,
by I forget. I'm not going to go into that, but basically it was the same thing, and I was just recreating it years later. I was like, oh, I can't do that. That's a good
so
one to
it
find.
must have been buried in your mind somewhere that you thought of it.
Yeah, and I love that one. But it's the same thing. They go through a time warp. They disrupt. They actually get hired by Scrooge. They disrupt the ghosts. And then they have to recreate it with them being the ghosts and to set everything right.
Tearing the fabric of time that has to be repaired.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, there's nothing saying you couldn't do a live action reboot of that. It
Yep.
seems that we are in the decade of reboots. There's
Yeah,
no reason why you couldn't. I don't
that's
think.
true.
I think it could end up being pretty good.
It could.
A sci-fi twist on a Christmas story or a Christmas Carol.
Yeah. And it still was original. Just happened to something that came up out of my subconscious. Kind of like when we talked to Rick Overton. You try to say something funny and you realize later, oh, I heard that then. So it's not really plagiarism.
Right.
But I'd still want to put more of a twist on it. But that would just take more work in the writing. And this is
Yeah.
all thoughts, and I haven't sat down and wrote anything. Now, are we live on Facebook? There it goes.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think we are.
we are. So,
I had to toggle the switch, the privacy switch to public.
and you did it. So I just want to share that so people can, on my page, can see it. So you go ahead. Uh, any specials or movies you want to bring up?
Yeah. Wait, are we talking Christmas movies or movies that we've been in that are now
Let's talk
available?
just Christmas movies, then we can talk. We'll end with sharing some things like we did yesterday of stuff we've done, things we can talk about.
Yeah. I was just sharing
Okay.
it to the page. So I think we're gonna watch A Christmas Story tonight.
One day. You're gonna wait one day before the marathon.
The marathon.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I have it. I have a copy of it.
me too. I have VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital copy, and streaming. Of course, you can find on Max. But I still watch the marathon, and it's two channels now: TBS and TNT, and they're an hour set apart. So every hour you could watch the opening if you wanted for 24 hours.
And have you seen the sequel, the 2022 or 2023, whenever it was, sequel that came out?
2 years ago, yeah, I saw it. I like that.
I know. I mean, I know they did another one, another Christmas Story sequel. I'm not counting that one. I'm
No,
counting this one with whatchamadoodle.
little Ralphie grown up.
Yeah, I can't. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Peter Billingsley,
Yeah, Peter Billingsley.
who I just saw in Elf last night. I was watching that.
Yep, he was in something else too. He he was the counter guy in Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and
Reese
oh man,
Witherspoon.
what is her name?
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon. Yep. Yeah, he was the airline counter guy
Yeah,
when they were trying to check in to their flight to go to Tahiti or wherever they were going.
I know they're friends. Of course, he and Favreau are friends, and Vince
Yeah.
and Favreau. They all could, but they did a comedy touring film like The Wild West or something that was supposed to come to New Orleans right as Katrina hit.
Uh
So and Peter directed it.
uh
So they delayed it and then finished it up. So it's all coming together, folks. Mike bump. It's
playing
all coming together.
plink.
We'll fix it in post. Oh wait, there's no post.
We we watched Hawkeye, obviously Christmas movie theme
The
right
series.
now. Yeah, we watched the Hawkeye series this weekend, me and the kids.
Yeah.
And and when you did that mic bump and I made that sound, I'm it reminded me of the scene where he had to fight the LARPer
Yeah.
and the LARPer got to kill him so he could get the suit. And
Right.
when they were doing the sword moves, the guy in the background was going fling, fling. He was like doing sound effects.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
Like
And
the
it
old
reminded. I
video,
thought of it just
Fireball.
now when you bumped your mic. I'm like fling.
You remember the video? Fireball. Fireball.
Uh.
LARPers, when they're a wizard, would throw the tennis ball like a spell.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, I didn't LARP. I was in the SCA before LARPing was a thing. So the Society for Creative Anachronisms. Yeah, I got
Okay.
through it. You dress up in armor and stuff.
Yeah.
So my friend that got me into that was late 70s, and we also played D&D, but they're
Yeah.
separate. You know, one's kind of more historical. It's changed a bit, I guess. And so we like you would go play football after school. We would go sword fight. So you'd have a shield, you have a bunker tube. So that's what you ship golf clubs in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called it a bunker tube. I don't know if that's what everybody else does. And if you get hit below the shoulder in the arm, now you can't use that arm for the rest. Exactly,
Bonk.
so, like a long plastic paper towel roll.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
seeing it.
yeah, so you lose your arm below your thigh. You lose your leg. You'd have to go to one leg, and chest and head, you're dead.
Yeah.
So then Ren Fair would come around every year, and the Jefferson I'm having so much trouble talking today. The Jefferson Performing Arts Society would hire the SCA
Okay.
to wear their armor and do their stuff. And so then the kids, they had this field there. And this was at Lafayette Park, which is in Metairie, where I'm at.
Right.
And now I think Renaissance Festival is on the North Shore in multiple weekends and a totally different animal. But you'd have the guys in armor and they'd fight with rattan swords. So you needed that armor. Same rules about arms and legs and stuff, but they had helmets and, heavy, heavy armor. So when they finished doing their part and they go take a break, we would get on the field, six of us who do this every day, and fight the kids who showed up for with their parents. It was six of us against 20 to 25 of them, and we beat the shit out of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That was
So
fun.
I never did any of that. I have been to a few Ren fairs. I had a friend, he's a few years older than me, that used to compete in the strongman stuff. Like the caber toss where they're throwing
Yeah,
basically a telephone pole
the old
and
Scottish games.
throwing big bales of hay up over a thing. There's, I don't know, four or five different things of feats of strength that they would have that going on at the same time that the Renaissance Fair was going on. Always had a good time going. I just never, I don't know, I just didn't know people that were into it enough to be able to get into it. I don't
Right, right. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
know.
Or is there something really wrong with that? No, I'm just kidding.
They make it out to be nerdy, but I mean, they're still they're performing. They're I mean, they're not doing anything different than we did as kids, playing, all kinds of different stuff.
Which is just like what we're trying to do for a living now.
That's right. Oh, hmm. All right. What what other movies you have left?
That I need to watch.
Yeah.
Well, we tried to start Die Hard, and my wife and
Yeah.
I both fell asleep.
Yeah.
Not that there was anything wrong with the movie. It's like I'll put on, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
Well, it's on Tubi. So when I start getting tired, I'll put one on. And lately, of course, it's been Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, Santa Claus, which was a Mexican movie brought over to America, and it's crazy, and a few others. But I can close my eyes and listen, and I don't need to see it anymore. And the guy's jokes are the same.
Yeah.
So that's comfort food, oh, for sleeping. So I guess it's not food, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah. Yeah.
eloquent. But the same thing with Die Hard. It's that I do have a Die Hard story. I don't think I've ever told you this before.
I'm
So
intrigued.
back, I
Let's
believe
hear
the
it.
movie came out in '89,
Yeah.
and I had seen it at the theater, and then a couple of my friends wanted to go see it. I was like, all right, fine. And we were middle back, not all the way back, second and third row from the end. And I got up to use the bathroom. I came back in, and I'm watching the screen, and I see a couple of people, and I scoot in, and I sit down. Well, I don't want to mess it up for my friends, so I don't even turn. I don't say anything. And something happened. And I go, hey, look at that. Oh, I was sitting next to the people, wrong people. And my friends waited for like 20 minutes for me to notice. And they were pissing themselves laughing. Oh, it's it was a good time.
Did I did, did I ever tell you the story that I worked in a movie theater for, as my first job?
Yeah, a little bit.
So
I've heard stories.
we hired this guy after I had been working there for several years. To this day, I can't remember his real name, but we called him Randy. I think his real name was Rusty, but we called him Randy. Do you remember MTV had Randy of the Redwoods? He would do like crazy stuff and he would talk
Yeah.
and point. He kind of reminded us of that guy because he was just out there funny like that. He was college roommates or in the same dorm as the um, oh, what's that group? They used to do crank calls and they would record it and they got
Jerky
really.
Boys.
He was friends, college friends with the Jerky Boys when they were doing this stuff before they became famous. So that just gives you a little bit of the mindset of this kid.
Yeah.
So a big group of us from work were watching a movie one night. He's like, "Watch this," and the movie was something scary, maybe a little bit gross, and he does this heaving sound, and then he pours a soda with ice on the floor, and it sounded like he was
Oh,
upheaving, and it was
yeah.
hysterical. And that kid did stuff like that all the time. It was like living or working with a live comic. He was crazy hysterical. I don't think he meant to be most of the time.
Yeah. That kid was George Lucas.
Wait, what?
He grew up to run Star Wars.
I think honestly, I think he got into some type of animation.
Well,
That was the path he was taking.
one of the Jerky Boys plays Mort Goldman on Family Guy.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Sorry, I can't remember your name, sir. Please forgive me.
Hmm. All right. Well,
Yeah, we just wanted to jump on, say hi again, like yesterday, test the equipment so we can learn how to do this better and share, annoy you people more. I mean, entertain you people more.
I almost wish I should have had you narrate. We should take turns narrating the night before Christmas.
Well, our good friend Hick Jeremy just did the Cajun night before Christmas. I had an audition. We did this yesterday, and when we
Yeah.
finished, it was time for Hick to be on Uncle Jackie's Gumbo show. I might have dropped
Yeah.
the word Gumbo
I think
Radio,
that's right.
and so I clicked it on while I was prepping an audition, and they were interviewing someone else, and it was a simple audition. I didn't even need a reader, so I said, okay, let me get rid of this. I'll do my stuff. I didn't rush to get it done. I did what I did, and I was happy with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Uh, I did my best, but I didn't obsess. And like
Yeah.
each thing, they gave you 5 or 6 lines to do, and you would say it, and then you could say it again, pause, and then go on to the next line. You know what I mean? It was, as instructions go, it was simple. But
Yeah.
I just had fun with it. I played voices, finished it up, went to my other computer, started editing, turned on the show, and they said, and that was Hick Jeremy narrating the Nightmare Before Christmas, a Cajun Night Before Christmas. So I missed it. So hopefully they'll release it as a podcast. I think they should just do it just as him reading that. That could be a yearly tradition, but hey, that's me. But last year we did the Christmas cards. Something
Yeah.
people have seen them. Those were a lot of fun. And Hick Jeremy, I got to say that was my favorite,
Yeah.
just because I he did it where like he was being interrupted and I timed the music to stop with him. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So maybe for next
His was
year
good. Funny.
we could start now, getting people saying things or even planning a story time. So where this would be a group effort, brand new Christmas story. We've got a year to plan it, and that might not be enough time.
It might not. If we get on
Right.
it, maybe.
Or we could do it in installments like Tolkien did for his Christmas. He did his Christmas letters to his kids. Break it up. Hmm. Make
Interesting.
T-shirts out of it. T-shirts will be
Interesting.
coming out in 2025, folks. I promise you, because I want you to get those T-shirts. And we
Yep.
want to use
They'll
that
be out.
money, put it back in the show, and hire some engineers so we can do more shows.
That's right. Editors. We need editors.
Yep. And we've got I think about 8 shows in the can already, if we want to say that. So we're going to
Yeah.
start this year off with a bang.
Yeah.
Should we say who our first guest is for January 1st for next year? You want to wait?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we might as well promo it. We
Oh yeah, yeah, totally.
for sure.
Do, 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 do. Just checking the message real quick. Do, do, do. So we have Fiona McQuinn, and not only she is a great local actress, she's a friend of ours, but she is one of the heads of the Abita Springs International Film Festival.
Yep.
And on the weekend of January 10th, that's when her, that's when the festival comes out. So we're gonna tell you how to get tickets, how to go see the films, and have a great time.
Yeah. and her episode comes out January 1st.
That's our New
We
Year's special.
we sat down and talked to her about the film festival. We did a film that was entered in that. It's a western, a period piece. A lot of our friends were in it, and it's called A Man from Bandera, and it will be shown at the Abita Springs International Film Festival the weekend of January 10th.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know if we're going to be there. It depends on what day they play it. We also are attending Fan Expo New Orleans the same weekend, January
Yes.
10th. On January 10th at 2 p.m., we will be on a panel discussing films with the host of the 90 for Chill podcast.
I'm glad you said 90 for chill. My brain was going 90 for something. 90 for chill. Cat Bus Russ.
Cat
We're,
Bus Russ. That's
we got a
right.
couple little promos we're gonna drop, and we just got our press passes or approved for press passes. So we're hoping to get a few interviews. Last year we did them. I talked with the friends, and being live is different from being in our own little studios. There's a lot of background noise, so a
Yeah,
lot of it we couldn't share. We shared them as videos, but we couldn't turn them into episodes.
right.
But I get to annoy more people. What are you doing? What are you doing?
We might use some different mics this year so we can get a little bit better quality
I did buy
interviews.
some. I bought some new lav mics with the fur on it. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's super better. Blocking out sound. Of course, uh, with Rachel Pizzolatto,
Hmm.
we were right in front of a speaker and a stage
Yeah,
when I recorded with her. So we were just blown up.
yeah.
One day, Rachel, we're going to have you on the show.
I think the DJI lab mics should do pretty good, and I'm planning to take the gimbal. So I think we'll get some decent footage. I
Cool.
hope. We'll see.
And I've got two of my photo ops planned out. Another Lord of the Rings one, Andy Serkis, and Doctor Whodhat is coming back. So for those who know, and I'm bringing Tuesday the Adipose. And Adipose was a creature in Doctor Who. He's made of fat. So Tuesday the Fat Tuesday, Doctor Whodhat's companion. But a new version.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, folks. Well, we hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah.
And happy Kwanzaa. I don't know if you say Merry Ramadan or Happy Ramadan. Whatever you celebrate, to the atheists, have a good Wednesday. Whatever you want to do, take your break. Enjoy your friends and family. Enjoy your time off. We will see you here next week.
Take care, folks.
Later.